Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Turtle Wins the Race Home-Based Business Podcast. My name is Kara Buntin. I've had a home-based business since 1999. I always have to think about this, and that's a hideously long time, but that's what we talk about here. And today I'm actually talking to Cindy, who owns The Scrapologist. And the reason that we started talking about this specific topic that we're going to be discussing today is that we both have decided to take the leap and kind of be semi-retired. And I think that's an interesting concept for people who are self-employed. So, Cindy, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and why you decided to actually say that you're retired?
Okay. Hey, everybody. Cindy the Scrapologist here, and I am a bookmaker currently. My business has sort of morphed through different paper crafts since the 1980s. I've followed the trends a little bit with starting out with card making, and then I went to the 12 by 12 scrapbooks and then mini albums and just became I'm a book lover to begin with, so started learning bookbinding techniques, and then that's now where I've landed as someplace where I think I'll stay. So first and foremost, I'm a bookmaker, but I do still make custom mini albums and sell some craft supplies and things in my shop. Been
Okay,
doing it
so
since 2013 on Etsy, I think.
okay, you say in your shop, but then you also say that you're semi-retired. So I
Mhm.
think that I find this okay. Let's talk about how did you come to the decision to say that you're retired, and what does that mean to you? Because I it might mean something different to you than it does to me. And I've been doing like this thing. I've told my husband I just have to say that I'm semi-retired so that I for me it's so that I don't worry about orders not coming in anymore because I closed my physical product shop. So I think in my mind, when I say that, it kind of takes the pressure off of me to have to keep producing stuff. I'm still producing stuff. It's just in a different format. But what does that mean to you? Because if you say that you're retired, but then you're also talking about your shop, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, semi-retired is more of a mental state because I fully expect that I will be still working full time in some capacity. But now I'm collecting Social Security early. So I don't have to have as many financial goals. I can now have more creative goals and customer based goals, I guess. So for me, it's a mindset.
Yeah, I'm the same. That's same for me. And you mentioned getting Social Security early. For people who are not in the US, when you hit 65, you get Social Security. Well, is it not? It's like 67 and a half or
62.
something.
Well,
60.
62 is you can start collecting at 62, but then
Okay.
full retirement is based on when you were born. I think for me it's like
Right.
71 now or something like that.
Yeah, they keep increasing it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's all right. We're living longer too, so they have to.
And
Um,
as a self-employed person, it eases some things up to have at least one piece of your income to be known. I know I'm going to
yes,
make X
yes.
amount at the end of every month, and that takes a lot of pressure off.
Yeah, it does. And one of the reasons that I decided to do this is that I have been just working my butt off for the last 3 or 4 years. And my husband is 8 years older than I am. So he finally hit the age where you take the full Social Security. For him, it was like 67 and a half or something. But when he started getting Social Security, that's a monthly income. And you're right, it takes a lot of the pressure off. And I had kind of in my head thought, I'm going to do this and just kind of really cut back and start, but I've started other things. So I'm in the
Yeah.
growing phase now of different stuff. But having that income coming in is a security blanket, which I guess that's what it's for. And I still have income, but it's not like I feel the pressure because we're pretty much living off of what he brings in. And I also, before, like for a year before I pulled the plug on my shop, I saved like a demon. I was
Yes.
like focused on saving up. so that because I have to buy my own health insurance every month, and I decided that I would save enough to pay for that and basically like pay my way. And as long as I had that in the bank, then that's my backup fund. Mentally, that kind of helped me make the decision to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, this
Um,
is not something as a self-employed person that you just do. I have a planner here and I've been planning this for a year. It's not a lot of self-employed people don't even have any social security. So
mhm.
yeah, it's not something that you just do. You mentioned phases. I watched a TED Talks on there was this guy, he was actually a very good speaker. It was the 5 phases of retirement. And it was interesting because phase 1 is you just feel like you're on vacation. Like, I'm free, I'm on vacation. Phase 2 is you wonder, what the heck am I going to do with my life now? Who am I now that I don't have that job title? I think as self employed creatives, we don't relate to those 2 phases at all. I'm not going through either of those phases. Are you? Like, did you have a
No,
vacation period?
no.
I know
And
you.
I've
I know you didn't have a vacation period.
absolutely not. I just shifted focus to other things.
Yeah.
So, so when you still have your website, I mean, you're still selling products.
Yeah.
So usually if we're talking about shifting focus to other things and not, I mean, what vacation? Are you kidding?
Right.
Yeah, you're right. The vacation phase doesn't apply. But what are you focusing on now? Like, what are your goals for the next year? Because we're both using the term semi-retired, which means that we're still working. Because
Mhm.
I think that's just in our DNA. If you're self-employed and especially if you're a creative and you've made that into your business, that you're still going to want to be creative, even if you're not selling it and making money from it. So, and I know that you still are making money from it. So tell us what you've been doing, or what are your plans for the next year? Do you have plans for the next year? Have you thought of that far ahead? I don't know.
They're in progress, and perhaps we should take the word retired out of the
Yeah.
equation. In the comments below, people can give us a different term for it because it's
Yeah,
we're
that's a good
really not
idea.
we're really not retired. Uh, in terms of my goals, that's a tough one because um, I'm having to redo all of my goals. Before, my goals were just to sustain things. Um, and try to, like, I would take your course and I would see something and I would go in and do a tweak to something. I never had the time to do my website completely properly, do my Etsy listings and photos completely properly. I just was tweaking things to keep them sustained. So now I feel like I need to go back and redo everything. So I'm a little overwhelmed right now and still trying to establish some goals.
I it's interesting that you say that you feel overwhelmed. I mean, there is no vacation period for this kind of thing, but because I kind of felt the same way when I first closed my cake business, and it was like, okay, now what do I do? Let me put all my focus on this other stuff. And it just, you kind of buy yourself a new set of problems, right?
Yeah.
It's like you buy yourself a new set of tasks. And it I'm just as busy as I was when I was filling orders for people. But it is definitely, it's overwhelming in a different way. And then if you have not saved enough to feel like you're financially secure, then you have to worry about that. And I would not recommend shutting a business of any in any capacity until you have a backup fund. You need some kind of a savings fund. So for anyone who's thinking, oh, they just shut their businesses and they're doing other stuff now, not really. And like Cindy said, it's a mental state. Like I feel like I'm making enough money still to feel like I'm contributing to the household, right? I'm not a drain on society. But I think for me, it's not having the deadlines that is making the difference in my mental idea of being semi-retired. And I think you're right. We need to take that word out of it. Um, But for me, filling orders was like, I have to do this now by a certain time period. And then you're beholden to the customers, and you're beholden to Etsy reviews, and you're beholden to all this stuff. And I think taking that out of the equation and just doing something that is, for me, that is more basically customer neutral, right? I mean, I don't have to have deadlines to do things for other people if I don't feel like writing anything. Because I have, okay, well, let's see, I have 2 websites, I have 4 YouTube channels, and I'm doing projects to build print on demand businesses on a few different platforms that people don't know about because I'm not doing it publicly. Um, so I'm still working, you know, but
Yeah.
I don't, none of that is required, has deadlines required that I have to do, fill these orders, and I have to take it to the post office, and I have to do that. And honestly, none of it requires me to deal with reviews, which I have always hated. I
Uh,
hate, you
yeah.
know, so for me, that's where the mental part of the of relaxation, if there's any relaxation, it's just not having to deal with that.
Yes. I think in terms of goals too, I have never felt that financial goals should be the be all and end all. Like my goal is to make X amount of money this month because I don't think that that gives you a clear path. I think you need to either I like right now I'm thinking about do I want sales growth strategy, or do I want a customer growth strategy? And either one of those will increase my sales and will ultimately make me more financially secure. But I think just having a financial goal is really not a great idea, at least for me.
Tell us what you're doing. Like, what are you, have you changed anything, or is this just a purely mental thing for you where you're like, I'm just taking the pressure off of myself because now I have the Social Security coming in, and so there's that to back me up. Have you changed your business structure at all? Have you changed the things that you're working on? How is that? Has anything shifted, or are you still doing it but with less pressure?
Yeah, great question. Well, I only started collecting Social Security August 1st. So this is still new to me, but I've been preparing. I find right now that I have so much time on my hands now. Until this point, I also was caring for a dad with dementia, and he passed. So suddenly in my life, I have all this freedom and nothing on my schedule. I This is really silly, but July 31st, I looked at my calendar for the first 2 weeks in August and I had nothing on there and I cried.
That's, I don't think that's silly, you know,
I was like,
because
"Oh no."
no, that's good. I mean, I look at my calendar now and it's completely blank. I think I have one
Yeah.
doctor appointment. My annual is coming up, and that's the only thing written on the calendar for all the whole month. And it doesn't mean that we're not busy, but yeah.
So I'm in
Uh,
this procrastination phase and feeling of overwhelming. So I've really been deep diving into my statistics. I love spreadsheets. I love facts and figures. I love facts. And so I wanted to see, okay, what have I accomplished since 2013 and where would I like to go now? Now, one thing that has changed, and I think I'm talking a lot about more my mental state, um, with this because I think as creators that's very important. I'm extremely passionate about what I do, and I'm so excited to teach people the art of bookbinding. I like teaching more than anything, and also now that I've stepped back from a secular employment, so to speak, um, I don't have as much social interaction. So I'm really looking forward to spending more time in my Patreon community. I love Patreon. I love my community over there. Those are people that are there because they want to hear from you, and we get into some really nice conversations. I want to do more in person art shows. I'm doing 2 art shows this year that I applied for last year. I want to find places in my community where I can do in-person classes. So, but I think that kind of, those kind of, I think the goals are going to be so different for everyone, depending. This is a time when you need to do what's best for your life too, not just your business. Your business needs to support your life. And in that regard too, another goal is I want to pay myself a salary from from my eShop, from my eShop commerce work that I'm doing. I don't pay myself a salary. I've been always putting it back into the business, getting more camera equipment, supplies. I had to buy a bookbinding press and a guillotine, and I've always just put it right back into the business. And I would love. I need to pay myself a salary.
You should have been doing that this whole time. Go buy
I
yourself
know.
something.
I
Go buy
know.
something fun. Yeah.
I know
But
that's a big thing for
mhm.
being self-employed. So,
it might be interesting. You might find that since you have the Social Security coming in, you feel like you can pay yourself a salary. And
yes.
that's a weird mental thing, but I can see that if you have like a good savings account or you have some backup, that you don't feel as bad taking it out of the business. Whereas if you have to rely on the business, you're thinking, I need my business income, then I need to keep building the business. You put it
Right.
back. I don't know. I mean, that could
Yeah,
happen,
no,
but
that's exactly right. That's exactly
yeah.
right. I kind of paid myself. I have a little antique tin in my studio, and I would take a percentage out and put it in the tin and kind of, a little vacation fund. But I don't think that's the same as paying yourself an actual
That's not the
salary
same.
every month.
That's not the same. No. So what I'm hearing you saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you basically are going to allow yourself to have more fun with this and not make it as like businessy. It's still a business, but you're not going to feel the pressure to keep growing the business, and you're just going to enjoy it more.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of a dichotomy. I'm going to take it much more seriously, but it's going to be more fun. I'm going to enjoy it now because all of the other pressures are not on me.
Yeah, and that's interesting that you say that because the other day I was thinking, I really, really like writing for my baking blog. And I had a cake decorating business. If people aren't familiar, I used to do custom wedding cakes. And I have no desire to do that. But when I have an article about, like, I just did an article about baking spiced pears, and it was fun. And I like writing that kind of thing. And I was like, boy, I really enjoy this. Like, if I had to dump everything else, I would keep that website just because it's fun. And it probably doesn't make me as much money as the other stuff, but it is kind of, when you don't feel the pressure of bringing in, like, building the business, like, I have to build the business, I have to build the business, and you allow yourself to kind of enjoy yourself a little bit,
Yeah.
then that's a good thing. And you don't have to be semi-retired to do that. I think sometimes you can just make decisions about, I'll tell you one thing I'm doing in a minute. And it's scandalous. It's scandalous.
I can't
Yeah,
wait.
yeah. But when you give yourself permission to just get rid of the things that you don't like doing and you don't want to do, then it can make it easier to do the rest of the work because
And
you're
when it
not
becomes
feeling,
work,
yeah,
it's no fun.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
every artist needs to take time to make something just because and just for themselves. It shouldn't just be work all the time.
And it's not just, I was listening to an interview with Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, and everybody hates him. It's like Mr. Wonderful, that guy. And I actually liked him after I heard this interview because it was a different side of him. You don't see, it wasn't him being a big blowhard, right? Um, but he was saying that the people he hires, he wants them to have a life outside of work. He doesn't want them to be working all the time, and he looks for people who have a passionate hobby that they really enjoy doing that has nothing to do with work. And he said it makes you more creative, it makes you enjoy your actual work more, and those people tend to be the ones that are the best employees. So I thought that was interesting, that, like,
Yeah.
basically everybody needs a hobby, but if you've made your hobby into your work, then you need to be able to back off that a little bit in order to, you know, kind of still enjoy it and give yourself permission to not be looking at everything like as a way to make money. And that's actually been hard for me in the last six, because I've been doing this for 6 months, 7 months now, because I started maybe 8 months. I've closed my cake business on Etsy, and my cake and any e-commerce. I closed at the beginning of December of 2024. And it is still like the thought creeps up in my head. Maybe I should sell this online. Maybe I should sell that. And I have
Oh,
to stop and remind myself
um,
that I don't want to do that. I don't want to be
restraint,
responsible.
restraint. Yes.
Yeah. And it's just hard to retrain yourself. But I think it's important to do that just so that you can actually enjoy projects and stuff. And I still do creative projects that go on the websites because I do craft articles and that kind of stuff. But I don't want to sell it. Well, I want to sell it. It's like there's something in me saying you need to sell this, you need to sell this, but I have to tell myself to back off and relax and not,
Yeah. I went into
um,
a business. I think I mentioned this in the eShop class one time that I went into this business, and next to the stairwell, it was a big atrium lobby, and next to the stairwell, they had a huge slide, and all these people in suits were sliding down the slide instead of going down the stairs. It's we need to have fun in what we do.
that
We need to
is
laugh.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
I thought it was too. And oh, and it landed into one of those things with all the balls in it, you know.
Oh my
So
God. What business was this? That's
I
hilarious.
can't remember. It was something in Boston.
Oh, really? That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
That's a Well, I used to live in Boston and they probably need it there. They need a slide
Absolutely.
in a ball pit,
Absolutely.
depending on what business it is. Yeah. Um, okay, do you want me to tell you what scandalous thing I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay. How often have I said you have to have an email list? How often have I said
Practically
that?
practically every video.
Okay. I have email lists and I'm like, it's another thing. I put it on my list. I do the email, I send it out every week. And I had two email lists, one for the artisan shopping website and one for my cake website. The artisan shopping website, I'm like, I'm going to look and see, because I keep my email list small. So I don't have thousands and thousands of people because I just feel like that's a waste. I'm like, I'm going to look to see what's actually going on with this. And I did a deep dive into the stats. And for the amount of time I was putting into it and the amount of traffic I was getting from it, I'm like, I don't think that this is worth my time. So I shut that one down and I told everybody on that list to go and subscribe to the Artisan Shopping YouTube channel. And I've started posting on the YouTube community posts because you can do YouTube community now, or you can do YouTube posts. And it's just posting something, it's like social media, just post a thing. But YouTube shows those to people. If you're subscribed, you'll see it on your homepage or wherever they show it. I don't know. Okay. I haven't seen any difference in traffic to the website. I haven't seen anything, nothing has changed since about a month ago I did that. And that wasn't a huge list. I had just started it maybe 6 months ago, so it wasn't an enormous list. But then I'm thinking, I'm not selling products anymore. And the people who signed up for my cake email list were the ones who were buying products from me. So I don't know if they're still interested. Let me go see what's going on with those stats. So I went to look and I'm getting a lot of people opening, but very few click-throughs. And you have to expect that. You get like 2% of people will open, or 10% or 40% or whatever it is. But after that, what are they clicking on? Because you can have everybody open the email. If nobody clicks on a link to go where you want them to go, then it's pointless, right? And it does keep you in mind if you're selling products. So I've always said the marketing message is the title of your email, that it shows up in someone's inbox. Even if they don't open it, they see it's from you and they remember your business. And that's fine, but I'm not selling products anymore. So I'm thinking, okay. So yesterday I went and I think in not this week, but next week, I think it's next week is going to be the last email that I send out for that email list. And I told everybody in that email to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel because I have a cake YouTube channel and I'm just going to start posting things there. And what I'm seeing from my stats from YouTube is that I get traffic from YouTube that goes to my websites. So I'm assuming that that will continue. And I'm assuming that if people who are actually interested go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to it, and then they see the posts, that the ones who are interested are going to be the ones that pay attention. And I'll probably still get, 3 clicks or whatever I was getting. And you do have to go in and do a deep dive in the stats
Mm.
and actually see what's working for you and what isn't. I would never tell anyone, just to be clear, I would never tell anyone with a product based business to shut off your email list. But that's not what I'm doing anymore. So I'm like, why not just try this? So I'm not going to delete the list. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to try this for a while and see what happens. And I will report back. But
I'll
that
be
is based
interested
on
to hear.
everything I've said, and that's a scandal, a scandalous thing to do.
You know, I think we have to not be afraid to pivot and
Mhm.
not be afraid to try new things. Somebody told me once, little risks, little rewards, big risks, big rewards. So again, it's a mindset.
Yeah, and for me, this wasn't a big risk because I'm looking at, I mean, if I had like thousands of clicks through for every email, then that would be a big risk. But looking at, I think if you look at the stats, you realize that there are things that you can kind of shed. And wasn't that my word of the year last year was shed or divest or something? And
Hmm.
I kind of click, I choose a word of the year every year and it kind of applies to what I'm doing. And I don't know if I chose one this year. I don't know because
I'm trying to think if
I
I did, because I
yeah,
usually do that. You mentioned it, so I started doing it.
yeah,
I'm probably retire.
yeah, it could be. Let me see. I usually write it down. I'm gonna see if I wrote anything down in my planner because I don't think I no, I don't. I would say it's ironically, I would say it's grow because I'm working on this other stuff that I want to increase like passive income kind of stuff. Um, but I don't think that I chose a specific one. And maybe that's part of closing the business in December of last year and just kind of taking a mental break from putting
Yeah.
anything on myself. I didn't even think to do that, I don't think.
What did you
So,
do the first morning that you didn't have to get out product? Do you remember
oh,
how you spent that?
I probably got up and kept working. I don't know. I mean, I've always had other stuff that I was working on. I don't remember how I spent it, but I do remember not missing going to the post office during the holiday shopping season and standing in line because I would go to the post office every day and stand in line to make sure they got the packages scanned in. I did not miss that, and I think I probably started planning because that's basically what I do. You know, look, I have my planner, and you got one of these, right?
Yes. Oh, I don't have it on my desk, but I love it. Yeah, I
Okay,
love it.
here's my sales pitch for myself. I'll put a link to this. This is just a sheet that works for me. I don't know if it would work for you,
It
but I
works for
finally
me.
came up after 6 months of doing this. I I need a system to make sure that I know where to post, where I have posted things and tasks that I've done and what I need to do for each thing. Because I have a list. Every blog post that I write, I need to post it in certain places to promote it. And like this morning, I got up, I wrote the article about the pears yesterday, and I did it at night. I don't think I finished it. And I got up this morning, I'm like, did I post that to Pinterest? I don't know. And I just looked
Yeah.
on my list here and it was completely blank. So I knew I needed to go and do that today. I hadn't posted it anywhere. So this is kind of keeping me on track. But I think I probably started planning the day after I had nothing to send. And I wasn't sad. I wasn't sad,
Are you
you
going to
know.
put the link below for that planner because it's awesome. It
I
really
will.
helped me. I started looking at all the places where I need to be posting and the other things I'm doing like Benable and Zazzle and man, it's a long list. And I thought, well, what do I need to do every week? And so that and I also make videos and then I forget to go back and edit them and I have a whole folder of videos that I never posted. So the planner really helped me decide what do I need to do on a weekly basis.
I
and
that
took away
okay.
the overwhelm.
Yeah, and I will say for me, what this has done, because it is a week, it goes week by week, and you can edit it for the things that you have to do. I'll put the link. You guys can go over and look and see it. Because you edit, it's on Zazzle, and you can edit it for yourself, and then they'll print it and send it to you, so it's customized for you specifically.
Just
Uh,
don't put any
yeah,
uh,
don't put like Facebook or YouTube. Do FB and YT because those are copyrighted and trademarked, and they won't print it. They'll cancel your order. We found out the hard way.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so but what this is also helping me to do is not feel like I have to do everything this week, and every
Right.
idea that I get, I don't have to do it this week. I can put it down on a week coming up, and I can schedule things out. So I've done basically on mine, I put like the minimum things that I want to do is 2 articles on each website, 1 YouTube video for each channel, and then some listings, right? And I still have an Etsy shop, so I have to keep putting stuff in there. I don't pay any attention to it. I got
And
a
it's
sale
great
on
too, 'cause you
I got a Etsy sent me $1.52 today. Ooh. Yeah. I'm gonna
I
go
got
buy half a
$3.
soda. I'm
I got
excited.
$3.50 because I have been diverting everything over to my website, not Etsy. I'm not working on Etsy at all. I got $3.50. But the
Well,
thing I
let's
like
put our
about
money
that
together. We can go out and buy a $5 Happy Meal or something. I don't know.
the thing I like about that planner too is that you can see when you're ahead. Like I went and listed all the videos that I had shot and not posted, and I was like, "Oh, I have enough videos for a month," and that felt great.
Yeah. See, and that's why I did it with the weekly thing. Because that and so I can do like if I do 2 articles for this week, and then I'm like, I have this great idea for a new one. I'm like, no, I need to put that next week, and then I'll get ahead a little bit. Because otherwise and I can see what I need to do still here on, so I put the
Yeah.
minimum on here, and then everything else can either be scheduled ahead and you just write it down on the next week's or whatever. But this system really helps me. And like I said, it's not going to help everyone. Everyone's brain works in a different way. But I'm glad that it's helping you because I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
yeah, it's pretty
Helping
clear.
organize. Here's a question for you. How often do you think um, people should go in, do a deep dive into their statistics, and maybe think about pivoting? Is that an annual thing? Monthly?
I would say quarterly. I would say monthly you should look, and like with the projects that I'm doing now that like I said nobody knows about, because what happens is people will go over and look at them and then it messes up my traffic stats. I I go in every month just to see what's going on. And then every quarter I've been going in and doing the deep dive, like what's working best, what is getting seen but nobody's bought it. What else? It's basically those two. It's like what's working best, and do I need to do more of that or that type of thing? And what are people looking at but nobody has bought it, and what's going on with that? And then you make decisions based on that. But I do it like at least once a month. You should keep up with kind of how much is coming in and what's working and what isn't. But you really need to give it a decent amount of time until you have enough stats to make a good decision. Because if you're trying to, you can't look at one day. Was it you in the class that was like, I've got these stats for these 2 days and I need to, and I'm like, no, don't do that. It wasn't you,
No,
was it? Okay.
no.
Because somebody said I have like this new listing. I forget what it was, but they had only like 2 or 3 days worth of stats.
Oh, I
Like,
remember. Yeah, yeah.
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 I said, come back when you've had at least 100 visits to that, because if it's not getting seen, it could be a keyword thing, but you don't know that until you've gotten 100 visits and then nobody's bought it. And then you can make decisions based on that. So,
Right. I
yeah.
think it was a higher priced item too, a painting or something like that.
Yeah.
I know who it was.
I don't remember specifically. But yeah, I would say at least once a month you want to watch and kind of take a general overview, but then once a quarter you should go in and really do a deep dive to see what's working and what you need to work on, and then
I'm
make your
putting that on
decisions
my
for the next
planner.
quarter.
It's going on my
Yes.
planner.
Put
Review
it on there.
stats.
Review stats. Yeah, but and don't drive yourself crazy with it. For people that love stats, that's great, but you need to have enough data or else you're not going to be able to make informed decisions. That's the problem.
I've only been looking at them once a year. So
Yeah, I would do it more often than that. Because you can adjust things. And especially like with the holiday seasons coming up, you need to start now. This is July, we're recording this in July. You need to start looking now at what happened last year. Like when did people actually start shopping? When did your sales start increasing for the holidays, and plan for that, and probably move it up a little bit because it seems to be getting earlier every year. We saw the first Christmas commercial yesterday, and my husband says, "Is it Christmas?" And it was for Disney vacations, which makes sense because if you're going to do Disney at Christmas time, you need to be booking now. But it was still the first Christmas commercial, and we were both a little horrified because it's
I'm already getting emails from some of my suppliers on Christmas supplies.
well, yeah, well that makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything it's early, so anyway.
Here's a term I hate too. So we have to think of new terms. Some people
Okay.
have said to me, "Oh, you're moving your side hustle to full
Oh,
time." And no, it wasn't a side hustle. It was a genuine business that I was doing part time. I don't like that term.
that's so it's demeaning, and I've always hated that. Like, no, it's a job. And I don't know why people started it's like they're kind of playing. It's a side hustle. It's nothing really serious.
Right.
But that's I've always hated that. I've always hated that. Yeah. That's one of the things that'll set me off. So I won't get into it.
Oh, my
um
dog's bopping me. Should we have a cute dog in the video?
Cute. Yes. Little
Cuteness
baby.
overload.
She's so cute.
She
Hello,
is.
baby. What's her name?
Lily. We call her Lily Licks a lot.
Oh, that's descriptive, right?
And if she's not in my
Oh,
lap for about a half hour, she
oh,
well, here, sit up there. She
yeah.
starts bopping my leg.
I have two cats behind me on the floor. One's over there. They don't like sitting on me while I'm talking because it's offensive or something. I don't know.
Both of my
Um,
cats passed, and my husband's allergic, so I said I'd go without cats. But I miss having a cat.
I know. I
Every once in a
know.
while, I show him something from the refuge league,
Like, oh, look,
from the shelter. Look at this kitty, Fred, that needs a home.
they're so cute. I know. I do this. I do the same thing. I've been cut off. So anyway, all right. Do you have anything else you want to? Well, I do want to ask, where can people find you online if they
Oh
want
yeah,
to? Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. I have a shop at thescrapologist.com. I have a Patreon. I have a YouTube where I do free tutorials, and I have a Facebook. I have a. I'm everywhere. I'm a
Do you
little bit
want
of
to
everything.
tell us? Do you want to tell us about your Facebook experience recently? Because this might actually help
Give
people.
me more
This might,
caffeine first.
yeah. I think you need some vodka in that. I don't know. I don't even drink, and I would be drinking if this happened to me. Um,
Yeah, that was it's so frustrating to have somebody else controlling your business and have their hands in your business, which is why I don't focus on Etsy anymore. One of my goals for this year, just as a side note, is to have no algorithm in between me and my customers. I control what they say, what they see, and I have direct access to them. That's a goal for me. Um, so back in, when was it? Oh, it's August now. Back in, or I think around the beginning of July, I had a YouTube video that went viral, for me, viral. 40,000 people watched it. It was so exciting. So I wanted to capitalize on that, and I posted the link in Facebook on my business page, and I ran an ad. So they about an hour within an hour, 500 people had watched it. I don't know what happened, but within an hour, I got an email from Meta saying your ad is approved. The very next email, a second later, was, we have deactivated your account. You violated our community standards, or whatever they call it. Once they shut you down, you cannot contact them. So there was nothing I could do. It took me a while to figure out that AI shut me down because of that ad. I'm just speculating because I still don't know. I think too many people watched it all at once, and AI, you know, maybe shut it down.
That could be. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was so discouraged. I had not thought ahead, which I've done this now, to make somebody else the admin. So I have a Facebook group, Junk Journals on a Budget. I have over 2,000 people in there. They didn't hear from me at all. They didn't know where I went. I couldn't post. I tried posting in there from somebody else's account. So my business page and my Facebook group were still showing. Um, and people could post into them, but I could do nothing to control it. It was this ate at me so badly. I could not stop thinking about it. It
Well,
was
no, I mean, that's the kind of thing that will keep you up at night because you're so freaked out and
and
you don't know if
frustrating.
somebody's going to go in and hijack your page or what if you have no
Yeah.
control.
And
Yeah.
just the fact that AI closed a segment of my business that was important to me was just, I was infuriated. So one morning, about a month later, I get this email from Meta saying, "We think your Facebook account was hacked. Go in and verify your identity." So I went in and I went through their rigmarole. They make you do a selfie like this. You have to show them your face, the whole thing. I did that, and instantly my account was reactivated. So I was shut down for a month. No idea why. I now have somebody else as the admin on all of my accounts, all of my social media, not just Facebook. Um,
I think
yeah,
that's smart. And I will say this happened right at the same time that Facebook was in the news for shutting down like 11 million accounts.
that's what you
And
said.
yeah, there were stories out there that they like actively shut down all these accounts and people, not just you, I had somebody else in the eShop group say that she was in a big seller group and they shut it down. And probably the administrator got shut down. I don't know. But it was a glitch and Facebook came back and I'm wondering if when they're like, oh, you were hacked, if that was their way of covering themselves to not have to admit that they did it by accident. And I bet that's what
Mhm.
it was
And they
because
shut
they,
down my personal page.
yeah,
So all
yeah,
the business stuff was still out there.
yeah. But they said it was personal accounts. They were shutting down personal accounts
Uh,
and business accounts. But there were a lot of people saying they shut down my personal account for no reason. You can't get in touch. Just exactly what you're saying. They can't get in touch with anyone. And we did try a few different things because Cindy's in a couple of groups that I have on Facebook, and so you were using a different account. That it one didn't work, one did work.
well, I tried two different email addresses. I
Mhm,
tried new email addresses, but because they do the facial recognition and make you do the video of your face,
mhm.
I even made faces like I was I was doing that. My husband said, "Put a mask on." I mean, I tried different glasses, but the facial recognition nowadays is really savvy, and, no matter what email address I used, they knew it was me, and they
Wow.
refused to let me open another account.
Okay, this is a good warning for people. Number one, put another admin on your accounts because
Yes.
that could, I don't know if that would help, but it could. And at least someone else will be able to have access to the group if and your business page if you need to have them post
Well,
something.
also, that's the
Yeah.
only way you can contact Meta. You
Yeah,
have to
that's true.
sign into your account to
Yeah.
contact Meta,
Yeah.
and if they've
Um,
deactivated you, you can't contact them, so
and we tried having you sign up for the blue check mark because you do get access to customer service and they wouldn't let you do that.
right.
So for people that are going to suggest that, it didn't work. We because everybody in the eShop was like, we need to help Cindy try to figure this out because it
Yeah.
scared all of us. I think everybody was like, oh my God, what if they do that to me? Um, so yeah, but it's a good warning to have that backup, but also have your business somewhere where people can contact you. And see, this is an argument for keeping your email list, right? So, but
Mm.
I don't have customers at this point. So this is for me, I don't have customers and you're still selling products and you're selling classes and you're teaching people stuff. I'm just going to do that on YouTube, but it is an argument for having an email list that you can contact people if you needed to. It's an interesting question. It's an interesting problem that we all may face at some point, because if you're working on a platform, they can shut it down at any point and you have no control over it.
Right.
So I will say, get your own website. I will say that again because I think that is important, but it is the one thing that can't get shut down by a platform is your website. So have that. But it's, it can
It's not
happen.
like a brick and mortar store where you have full control over
Mhm.
what's in your store and who comes in and
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
close the door. That's
Yeah.
not e-commerce.
No, no. All right. Well, do you have anything else you would like to add?
No, I don't think so. It was a good conversation. We covered a lot of topics.
Yeah. And I think that we pretty much established that if you are self-employed and a creative, you can skip that vacation part of retirement because it doesn't exist. So
You already know who you are and what you want to do.
that's right.
Well,
Okay.
you have the therapy degree and I'm a music therapist. We both have a therapy degree, so we talked a lot about mindset and the psychology too
That's
today
that's true. I
of
think it's
shifting
important
into the
though.
transition.
You
Yeah,
know, yeah,
it's right up there with getting married and death, and it's one of those major life shifts, really.
absolutely. Yeah, it really is. And it does kind of put you into a no man's land for a while. You have to kind of find your footing. But if
Absolutely.
you're someone who has worked for yourself and you're creative, you'll find something to do. You're going to find something to work on, don't worry. Right.
And enjoy life.
Yeah. Okay, well, I will talk to you later. Thank you very much. And I'll put all the links to Cindy's retirement shops. I don't know. And all the stuff Cindy's
My
doing, I'll put in the
projects.
description of the video. What's that?
My projects.
Your projects. Okay, I like that. It's project. Okay, yeah, and give us a new word for this because it's not really retirement. It's something else, but I'm not sure what. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to you later, Cindy.
Nice talking to you, Kara.
Bye.